Hey, yo, peace, peace. This your man, Joe, coming right back at you with some of that real talk, real fast, man. Hey, I'm just gonna keep it real with you because I am real talk, real fast. El Judge. People often say that Africa is the cradle of civilization. This is what they say. This is what they've been teaching us for years, that Africa is the cradle of civilization. They say Africa is the cradle of civilization because the oldest human remains were found in Africa. The key word in that is found. See, what about the bones and stuff that they didn't find? What about the human remains that they haven't found? I want us to think about this here. Right now, still to this day, they're still finding civilizations that are existing, well, that once exist under the water. They found one in our lifetime, a civilization that exists right off the coast of Cuba, that was under the water, and they said that they didn't even know this place exists. It's not recorded in history. So how many other places that exist that may be up under that water that are not recorded in history? How do we know life didn't start in those places? Come on, y'all. How do we know that even here on the surface, you know what I'm saying, that say life has been around for 100 million years, humans have been walking around. What if that's the truth? That means that, man, there are civilizations that probably perished, that have gone completely to the dust, and there's absolutely no trace of them. We don't know. We're only going by what someone else told us, and the educational system that we are going by, these are the same people who told us that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Look at this here. Right here, I don't know if this is true or not. Right here, it's saying that the oldest water on Earth is found in Ontario, Canada. They said it's over 2 billion years old. Now, doesn't life normally begin where the water is? They didn't say the oldest water was found in Asia. They didn't say the oldest water was found in Mexico. They didn't say the oldest water was found in Africa. They said the oldest water was found in the Americas. When you have water, water creates an oxygen-rich environment, especially when the plants begin to grow from the water. Life comes out of the water and onto the land. Like I said, they did not say Africa. And I'm not saying that life began here in the Americas, because this is just information that this is just the oldest water that they found. But it damn is sure not saying that they found it in Africa. Man, we got to grow up. There's this guy here on TikTok, man, and he gets here and he insults so-called Black Americans so bad, and he says that Black Americans have an identity crisis because some of the things that our grandparents told us about ourselves. Because if we know you can't trust the books. All of us can admit that you have read or been taught a lie out of a book. So that means you can't trust any of them. You can go by your word of mouth, what your parents say. And see, me, I got to be honest with you. Part of my family, they do come from over there by Africa. They came over there from, on my mother's side, some of them came from Madagascar. And they ended up over there in Spain, and then they ended up in parts of Ireland and Scotland. And then they ended up over here in the Americas. That's part of my mother's side of the family. My father's side of the family, part of them came from Ireland. And they came over here and they mixed with some of the people who they call today, they call them the Wassamawa tribe. These are people who've been in Moncks Corner, South Carolina for over almost 300 years. They've been there, but they lived someplace else. But they had problems with the French, or was it the Germans or somebody, and they ended up in Moncks Corner. And that's part of my father's side, is part of them, and part of the doggone Irish. See, man, when it comes, like I said, when it comes down to it, man, all we can really claim is Earthling. But if we claim Earthling, that means we're claiming one unit. So they see, right, they can't divide us if we all claim to be an Earthling. But they sure as heck can't divide us when we running for African. Cause I'm an African. I'm a whatever. I can't even think of the other races because we're all really just one thing. We may not all look exactly alike, but we're still Earthlings. This division, we're losing with this division, gang. And the people who's manipulating the doggone books and the texts and these online things, they're the ones who's winning because they're keeping us separate. Because once you consider yourself an Earthling, you're going to be like, man, I'm not going to let these demons destroy this doggone earth. This is the only earth we got right now. Man, we just got to keep it real, man. Stop it. Stop listening to these people. Stop listening to these FBA people. Stop listening to these doggone what you would call excessive African people, man. Stop it. To my African brothers and sisters out there, why do you care about what the Black American claims? What makes you think you have a right to tell the Black American that his grandmother or his great-grandmother lied to him about his lineage? To the Native Americans, what makes you think that you are the blueprint to the so-called indigenous people, that all indigenous people have to look like you? What makes you think that? Here, let's continue. Okay, because man, there's a whole lot that I would really like to talk about, but I can't, because we can't come together as one people. We can't face certain truths because we keep hiding behind these races. The Native American, you guys are a great people. You guys don't know how great you was before you came over here to the Americas. You were not hunters and gatherers at first. You became hunters and gatherers because of the wars that you've been through and what was taken away from you. And not only did they take your history away from you, they made you turn your back on who you was. They threw you little bones and said, well, you claim America and forget that you're Siberians and part of the doggone, an important part of the Tartarian doggone race of people. And see, then when people think of the Tartarians, you want to add a race to it. Tartaria was a system. There were many different types of people, but at the same time that there were many different types of people all over the place, you had people who were grabbing people and terraforming the planet, carrying them, taking people from the Philippines and then placing them in South America, taking people from South America and then placing them over here in the areas of Ohio and other parts of the world. They were terraforming the planet, and you know who was behind that terraforming? These sailors that we call the Olmecs. See, now, the African pride, when I say Olmecs, the Africans in their pride, they say, oh, the Olmecs, that's us. No, that is not y'all. The black Americans in their pride, oh, the Olmecs, that's us. No, that is not you. I mean, it's us if we consider ourselves as one unit of Earthling species, but when it comes down to it, the Olmecs were Asiatics. Now think about this, because now when I said Asiatic, you heard the word Asian, so now the image that they showed you on television and books, you see that image as a doggone Asiatic, and that's not exactly what all Asiatics look like. Go back and look at the statue of an Olmec again. Right. Those were Asiatics, and they were part of the doggone Tartarian Empire. There were many empires within the Tartarian Empire, but the Tartarian Empire was the head of it all at one time. And at one point, this whole thing, every continent that we know of, it was referred to as Asia. Is not Asia the biggest continent? When you're dealing with Russia, you're dealing with Asia. Is that not the biggest continent? How do we know life didn't start there? We don't know. All I'm going to say is, man, stop it. It's about you being here right now and what you're going to do. Quit playing games and quit letting these people divide us, man. This is your man, El Judge. I'm out.